death in Nir Oz. Obama works AIPAC. Lawyers take action.
Machon Meir, studying Torah, Judaism, and Hebrew in a truly Zionist environment in Israel. Torah and Zionism from the heart of Jerusalem. Registration is open throughout the year.
Today is the 2nd of Sivan, 5768, the 4th of June, 2008. I'm Elliot Koh, and you're watching Arutz Sheva, Israel National News. At least one Jew has been murdered in the latest Qassam attack from Arab-occupied Gaza, with an unknown number of other injured. INN TV reports.
The Hamas terror group has taken responsibility for the deadly rocket attack which struck a factory in kibbutz Nir Oz in southern Israel around noon, killing a 52-year-old worker. 4 others were wounded, with the most serious being in moderate condition. All were taken to Soroka University Medical Center in Beersheba by Magen David Adom. Kibbutz Nir Oz is located 25 kilometers southwest of Sderot, meaning the rocket would have been fired from the Arab-occupied Gush Katif region. The attack came around a half hour after MKs of the Knesset Foreign Affairs and Defense Committee visited the area to hear about security issues. Gaza terrorists have fired rockets at the Eshkol block over the past several days, causing several injuries.
We have here a continuous situation of 7 years of bombardment of Qassam rockets and mortar shells. Turns out that this so-called statistic weapon can also kill. Unfortunately, we are about to bury another person.
Barack Obama, who has been under fire for his contacts with open anti-Semites like his spiritual mentor, Jeremiah Wright, and foreign policy advisor Zbigniew Brzezinski, famous for their hostility to the Jewish state, may be attempting to garner more support from the Jewish community. Obama spoke before the AIPAC Washington conference and stated that he opposed the division of Jerusalem.
I will bring to the White House an unshakable commitment to Israel's security. That starts with ensuring Israel's qualitative military advantage. Any agreement with the Palestinian people must preserve Israel's identity as a Jewish state with secure, recognized, defensible borders. And Jerusalem will remain the capital of Israel, and it must remain undivided.
In response, Fatah PA Chairman Mahmoud Abbas declared he rejected Obama's statement completely. The whole world knows that Holy Jerusalem was captured in 1967, and we will not agree to a Palestinian state without Jerusalem as its capital. As the police investigation against the premier gathers momentum, a private lawsuit demanding Prime Minister Olmert suspend himself has been filed. We spoke with Barak Malchia and Arik Harush, the 2 lawyers behind the initiative. Shalom, Barak and Arik.
Shalom.
Barak, could you explain what you and Arik hope to accomplish with this particular lawsuit?
Well, regarding this suit, we hope to accomplish a situation where the court will intervene with the decision of Mr. Mazuz and will order Mr. Mazuz either to state that the Prime Minister could not go on with his role, or to have a specific time frame, let's say 30 days, 60 days, which in this time frame he will have to decide either he will go on with indictment or he will decide that the investigation will end.
Arik, tell me, what's special about a private suit?
This is not a private suit. This suit is it's public suit, and we, as the citizens of Israel, have the right to proclaim the right of the public in this kind of a suit. we are approaching to the High Court and ask him to intervene with the decision of Mr. Mezuz.
How do you respond to those who say that this is just the latest examples of lawyers taking power away from elected representatives in the Knesset?
Okay, what we are saying is that we are not taking the power away from the elected representative of the Knesset. We are asking the court to intervene with the discretion of Mr. Mezuz and to adjust it to a time frame in which Mr. Mezuz should decide either to go with the indictment or not. The situation that the Prime Minister is under the investigation and under active trial, even though it's an early trial, is not a reasonable situation, and it's affecting the whole system.
Arik, tell me, is there any kind of political motivation here in trying to bring down the premier?
You have to understand, we don't have any political motivation here. We only operate and we are only doing all what we are doing because of our conscience. We are lawyers in Israel. We have our law office here in Israel. We have many clients. We hear the people, like we said, and also we can read the papers and we saw the television and we care about Israel as a country. We think that here in Israel, it's not a reasonable thing that a prime minister in that situation, in a specific country like Israel, that we have to be more than 100% as a prime minister because of all the solved situation of Israel. Now, when he is in this specific period of time of investigation, we believe that this is not the right time that he can remain as a prime minister in investigation. So we ask these specific things that we already wrote in this approval to court.
Barak Malchia and Arik Charus, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
David Littman has long represented the World Union of Progressive Judaism at the United Nations, but efforts have recently been brought to bear by Arab and Muslim states to remove the World Union from the UN Council on Human Rights because of an incident where David Littman quoted from the Hamas Charter. We spoke with David Littman about his developing situation. Shalom, David.
Shalom, Eli.
What's happening now at the UN Council on Human Rights?
So what is happening now is Egypt leading the organization of the Islamic Conference and bringing on board all the non-aligned countries, which means 134, are attempting at the Committee of NGOs in New York in order to throw out an NGO, a non-governmental organization, the World Union for Progressive Judaism. I was speaking for them on the 24th of January, referring to Hamas, but then I spoke on the Hamas Charter, and I finished my statement by saying, having been stopped by the friendly Romanian president, and I ended by quoting Shakespeare, if you remember, something is rotten in the state of Denmark, but I said something is rotten in the state of this council. That one sentence, which was a humorous pun, is being used by all these states to try to throw out one of the most oldest NGOs, which is the World Union for Progressive Judaism, representing about 1.8 million Jews in something like 1,200 communities worldwide.
Is this inevitable that the World Union is going to be thrown out at the end?
The organization of the Islamic Conference is determined to have me thrown out, but they're pretending it's because I made that one sentence. We will see. I think it would be the most extraordinary thing if it happened.
Do you think that the council could be reformed?
I think it's too late. I think the council was supposed to reform, according to Kofi Annan. The Commission on Human Rights, it's going down the road. The Islamic Conference people, the Organization of the Islamic Conference, decide more or less what is to be done in certain fields, and they get away with it without any problems because their numbers, plus those who are willing to back them, Cuba, China, Russia, whatever, make it almost impossible for the democratic countries, the West as it's called. America, of course, is not a part of the council. They refused to be a member.
David Lippman, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for inviting me to speak on this subject, which is crucial today.
That wraps up today's newscast. Because of the Shavuot holiday, our next scheduled broadcast will be on Tuesday. Until then, I wish you Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach. From all of us here at Arutz Sheva Israel National News, this is Elliot Koh. God bless.